All right, so I've been talking about the seller financing situation that fell through. I'm going to get into that now. So there's a property in Sevierville, Tennessee, Sevier County, Tennessee, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Wares Valley, Tennessee, that we've been chasing for about a year now. And we actually had it under contract. We're the third person that get it under contract in 20 was it March of 2022. This is 2023, 2022. We had it under contract. We started doing our diligence on the property, excuse me. And it was, the guy bought it, I think in 2018. The property has seen no life whatsoever. It's just kind of been deteriorating since then. And so we started doing our due diligence, and just come to find out, we had contractors come over and the quotes to come to rehab the house. And also there is a driveway bridge that has been dilapidated, almost has to be replaced completely. Just totally blew our projections out of the water. So we went back to him, apparently just like the other two folks who had the property under contract, and tried to retrade. And he said, "No, I'm not doing that." And so he took it off the market at that time. I mean, he had it under contract three different times. All three potential buyers came to the same conclusion, and which is not one that he was willing to accept. So I skip traced him through PropStream during the middle of our dealings there. And by the way, PropStream is one of those products that we use. So if you go to w2capitalist.com and there's a tab up there that says product we use, you can find more information about PropStream. But I skip traced him through PropStream and got his number. First time I called him, told him who it was. It was a very quick conversation. Pretty sure he hung up on me in very anger fashion. And so between that point and now, I've taken some opportunities. I wanted to build a relationship with a guy. I fell in love with this property. My wife did too, and we just, to us, it's a legacy type product. But we're not going to be able to get conventional financing on it, primarily because as we transition to full-time entrepreneurship, with all of our write-offs for real estate from a tax perspective and an income perspective, we look poor. We look poor on paper, which is part of the name of the game. But when we go and we try to, do some financing or get some financing options, there's not any that are appealing. Now, there's some DSCR products out there and some hard money lenders that we could have worked with, but now those rates have gone up to a point where it doesn't make sense. So what I have been building, trying to build this relationship with the seller for the last year, just taking opportunities, here and there. And I felt like we were building a relationship because he would message me at times and say, "Hey, when you did your due diligence, didn't you ask to do this? Can you tell me, he basically was asking me, "Hey, where's the septic tank at?" And I basically took a, photo of, an aerial photo of Google Maps, circled it, sent it to him, told him where I thought the drain field lines were and all this other stuff. And, you know, kept kind of pinging him every few weeks or every month or two. And then somehow, I can't remember, somehow he and I connected, and he made a comment about he's going, because it's about 3 acres, and he was going to split the 3 acres into 2 parcels and sell them off. And he felt like there was more value in it. And I said, well, would you consider owner financing and just selling me the whole thing, right? And he said, yes, I'm in. Now here's where it gets a little tricky, and here's where I my initial thought is now known as the correct one. Is I've felt like it was going to take a nosedive. He introduced me to a realtor friend of his. Let me backtrack. this gentleman lives in the state of Illinois, properties in Tennessee. He's away on business. He's got a big deal he's working on. I don't know if it's real estate related or not, but just a big deal. And he needed somebody to work as an intermediary for him, dealing with me. Totally get it. Right. Got higher priorities, going to try to make this thing work. So he pointed me to his realtor friend who's not licensed in Tennessee, but she's there to be the liaison and communicate between the two parties. And so I get that, but I kind of felt like that the property was going to die after that happened. But I got a message from him about seller financing. We talked very general term. We didn't talk terms at all. We just said, are you willing to do seller financing? And his response was, yes, I'm in. Right. And then introduced me to the realtor friend. She calls me. We have a great chat. She says, you just got to submit your highest and best. And there wasn't any price guidance given. I don't think she was given any. I think she did an amazing job, actually, of trying to make the deal go through. And even though she was not going to be compensated on directly on that deal, I think she did an amazing job of trying to make it happen, and probably gave me some advice if I go back and read between the lines and really listen that I didn't listen to or adhere to. And so anyway, I put out my highest and best. And then, did some follow up with her and with him, even though I was told not to. And, 2 weeks go by, and once again, his response is, I'm going to take it off. I'm not going to sell it. I think is what I was told. Hey, I'm not going to sell it. So I've been trying to do a post-mortem analysis. How could have I done that better? Because, when I had it under contract in 2022, we had it under contract for 300. We tried to retrade at 250, and then I felt like I was paying a little too much. And so this time my offer to him was 300, but I'm going to pay you $1,000 a month, interest only, for the next 7 years, right? So then, therefore, at the end of the 7 years, he's made $384, because there would be a balloon payment at the end of 7 years for that $300,000, and he would make $384,000 on the property that has now sat there for 4 or 5 years, not generating any revenue for him at all. So, yeah, and the only feedback was hey, he's decided not to sell the property. So I want to know, my thought is, my thoughts are one of two things. Either A, my offer wasn't that strong, leaning heavy toward that portion. B, my offer was so strong that it made him second guess selling it at all. Or C, none of the above, and I don't know the full story and whatnot. I want to know from you. You guys can text me. You can email me. Text at 205-249-0248, or email me, J-A-Y, at w2capitalist.com. What you think I did wrong. What would you do differently? And I especially want to hear from the folks who have successfully completed a seller financing deal. That's like the next thing on my bucket list, is to get a seller financing deal, as long as it fits with our overarching goals of what we're trying to accomplish this year. So anyway, I want to hear from you. 205-249-0248. Let's talk seller financing.